welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I hope all is well with you guys. So today I'm gonna do Tara's 2 cents. I'm really excited about doing this segment. Thank you guys so much for asking me your questions. It means so much. I honestly thought that like a couple people would ask me questions. I didn't even think a lot of people would ask me questions, but the fact that you guys took time out of your day to ask me questions means so much to me, so thank you. I also kind of wanted to clarify something. When I was getting questions about topics pertaining to me, like what's your favorite color and stuff like that. I would love to answer those questions, but I'll do that in a separate video. I'll call it like Q&A, where you guys can like ask me any questions you kind of want. Tara's 2 cents is more of like you guys asking advice you need in your own life. I feel like I should have clarified that a little bit, so I'm sorry, that's on me. But I definitely want Tara's 2 cents to be kind of like a video pertaining to like you guys needing help in your personal life, or like advice that you need help on, and us kind of talking about it as a channel. So, you know, topics about whether it's friendships, or you know, you want to talk about school, or like a situation that happened with your friends, stuff like that, where you guys ask me questions and then we kind of answer it together. If I don't answer your question in this video, I will definitely answer your question next time, because some of these questions are a little lengthy. So yeah, thank you guys so much again, and let's get into it. So if I look down, it's because I have the questions on my cell phone, and I'm gonna read them out to you guys, and it'll like pop up the screen. Again, your name will be left anonymous, so like nobody will know except for me. So one of the questions I got said, "Hey Tara, I love your channel. I think that the advice thing is a great idea. I guess you could say that this question's about self-confidence and dealing with uncomfortable situations." So yeah, I'm 14, almost 15, and a freshman. I was really excited about starting high school, and I joined some of the clubs. One of them is a young women's organization that sometimes goes on trips. Recently, we went to a weekend retreat out of town, which I thought would be a lot of fun and a chance to meet some new people. So when we got there, I soon found out that the facility had a group shower with no stalls or curtains, which no one had bothered to tell me about. When the time came, I was like, this is crazy. There's no privacy, and I feel so insecure. No one else seemed to have a problem with it, and they were having conversations, but it was really awkward for me, especially meeting some of the girls for the first time when we were standing there completely naked. I know it was a weird situation, but I don't feel confident at all, and I'm not sure where all the insecurities were coming from. When I thought about it, I realized that I was envious of the girls who looked so amazing when we were showering, and I felt just the opposite of when I had clothes on. This is embarrassing for me to talk about to anyone face to face. If you have any advice that you think might help me in the future, I'd be so grateful. Sorry this was long. No, you're fine. Thank you so much for like telling me this, because I know you said that this is uncomfortable to talk about. But you kind of mentioned how you were insecure with yourself, and that happens to like all of us, honestly. I think the best thing to do is, if you're in an awkward situation where you don't feel comfortable, the best thing to do is to get out of that situation. Maybe like taking a shower really quickly and getting out of there. You said that you were like struggling with self-confidence, which happens to the best of us. And I think one thing that's really important to know is that a lot of times you feel insecure about yourself, and you're like, I'm not as pretty as this girl, but there's probably a girl looking at you thinking the same thing, thinking that you're the most beautiful and that you're really pretty. So I feel like the best thing to do is to try and like realize that like your worth and how beautiful you are. I'm gonna make a separate video on how to like gain self-confidence, but I think one thing is just like realizing how beautiful you are, spending time with yourself, building up your self-confidence, and just kind of doing things like that so you feel more comfortable. Another thing is like, maybe like you said, a lot of people were talking with other people. I think one thing that was making kind of insecure was that you didn't know a lot of people. Talking to other people in a way making them stop thinking about like, oh, I'm in a stall with like all these girls are all naked. Not worry about that so much, but to take your mind off of it and kind of think about something else, so it helps you to feel a little bit more comfortable. When you distract yourself, you don't think about the obvious thing, and I think that's what you need to do, because this has happened to me before, especially like when you enter into middle school and they're like, okay, now you have to change, you know, in front of all these girls. I used to be like really insecure, but like I was like, I don't want to take my clothes off in front of people, like people will look at me. But after a while of me just getting comfortable with people and getting comfortable with myself and doing things that distract me, it was easier for me to kind of do those tasks in front of people, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was kind of just like, okay, I'm doing name of my business, get it over with. But I definitely want you to know that you're beautiful and that you're amazing. Be who you are for a certain reason. So don't beat yourself up just because you feel like you don't fit the standard. That's kind of like my little advice. So hopefully that helped. I hope. Next question. Hi Tara. Please, I would like to know from you, how can a person strengthen their relationship with God? That is praying, reading the Bible, etc. And how can one restore an unbalanced and unstable relationship with God? It is easier said than done, but you are such a beautiful and smart lady. I would like to hear from you. Thank you so much. And then I asked you to specify a little bit, and you did. I mean, as in when you're backsliding. When some Christians are going through challenges, they lose their faith, they don't pray regularly, and gradually become distant with God because they do not have the strength to pray. The spirit is willing, but the body cannot. I have a friend who faced some challenges, family problems, financial difficulties, and so much more affected her studies, spiritual life, and even mentally. I guess she started taking things into her own hands and forgot about God. She prioritized work, school, and everything before God, and now is even saying a 30-minute prayer has become difficult for her because she does not have the drive in her. She is lost and disconnected from God. She has backslidden and wants to reconnect with God. What is your advice for her? What should she start doing to enjoy communication with God and to reconnect to the Almighty in truth and forever? That's a really good question. Thank you. I think what happens a lot of times, like you said, people start backsliding. Something that's really important into starting to rebuild your connection with God is first realize whoever says they've never backslidden is lying. We've all backslidden from God. We've all become far from God. So maybe, start off a little bit with doing devotional every morning. Praying, not even praying full praise, but just saying as you wake up, thank you God for allowing me to wake up today. Doing things like that. Start praying a little bit. Start reading the message little by little by little. Listen to Christian music. Fill yourself with God all the time. And eventually you'll start gradually going back into that. People think that when they have situations and things are happening, they love to put it in their own hands and say, you know what, I'm going to take care of it. But you have to realize, you can't handle it by yourself. You need God. So I think one thing that she should start doing is just gradually growing back into it. Gradually reading little things. Start praying a little bit more, and then as time goes on, you start doing more and more and more and more, and eventually it'll become easier and easier and easier. Like everything in life, it takes practice. You have to continue to do it. It has to be something continuous before it becomes something where it's a habit. You should start doing little things, reading the Bible a little bit more, listening to messages, soaking into the word, and eventually she'll start getting back into that routine. And she should also realize that in any situation, you have to put God above all. And a person must be willing. Even though you're being a good friend, if she's not willing herself to be like, you know what, I've been backsliding, I need to get back into the word, she's never going to get back. And she should be the one saying, you know what, I think I need to do this. Continue to talk to her about it little by little. And if she's receiving it and she's starting to do a little bit more, that's great. But I say as a friend, just try to encourage her, tell her I'm there for you, help her a little bit along her way, and eventually, hopefully, she'll get back into the Word of God. And hopefully, I answered your question. Sorry, my throat is really itchy. The next question is, how can I be motivated to work for classes I hate and think are pointless? Classes that I'm in now and I'm I do not like this class. But one thing that keeps me motivated is I need that class in order to graduate. Even though I think this class is pointless, I'm in this class, I might as well gain something from it and not waste my time. And this class is probably most likely something I need in order to graduate, or I need in order to get to a position where I can do what I want to do in my life. This class is not going to be something you're going to do forever. This is just a period of your life where you just have to get through this class and then go. Another thing that motivates me is grades, because I don't want my GPA to drop because of a class. So don't worry about it too much. We all have classes like that, but just getting through it and just keeping yourself motivated by doing little things that you're okay, well, even though I feel like this is pointless, this is why I'm doing this class, because I need to graduate, because I want a high GPA, or because of this. Motivation comes from you. So personally, you just have to find that motivation, that will to go into that class every day. Find little things that make you want to go to that class. Hopefully that helps. Next question. Hey Tara, I would like to know what your opinion is about unborn puppies. P.S. I love the name. Okay, so this is one of my friends, and she's always talking about unborn puppies. I don't know. I have no comment on that. I don't know what to say. She's probably gonna say something in the comments or I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. Those are some of the questions that I got. Again, if I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. I will answer it later in another video. Thank you guys so much for asking me your questions. This means so much. I hope I can continue this series on my channel. If you haven't sent your questions, don't worry. You can comment them down below or you can email me. My email is always on the screen now for you guys to use it. It's never too late. Hopefully I answered your questions well. Again, if you have any suggestions for the questions that I've said, you can always comment down your opinion down below. Let us have a conversation in the comment. I love you guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Stay inspired, and I'll see you next time. Bye.